Hi everybody. Matplotlib is a Python library that will let you make all kinds of fancy plots, and it's got so much functionality, and we're just going to scratch the barest surface because I just want to do a couple of basic line plots or maybe some scatter plots. So let's build up what we can do one step at a time. At the very top, you want to import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. So here you're naming a variable that's going to contain the object that you're going to be running methods on. Here's one of the most basic plots you can do. We're giving it a sequence of y values. Go is not an instruction. G actually stands for green, and the lowercase o means that you're going to graph dots. The plot command doesn't actually display anything, and you'll see why in just a second. In order to actually show the graph, you need to say plot.show. So when I run this one, you'll see it's created a little plot where my y values go from 2, 4, 8, 16. Let's now add on to this. So right before my y values, if I do this, I can give it a series of x values as well. So now rather than displaying 2, 4, 8, 16, it's going to display a bunch of coordinate pairs. So the x coordinate 2 with the y coordinate 4, x coordinate 2 with y coordinate, x coordinate 4 with y coordinate 2, x coordinate 2 with y coordinate 4, and so on. So you see that's what it looks like now. Let's go ahead and break those lists out into their own variables. So we got 2, 4, 8, 16, and now I'm going to make y2 be, I don't know, 16, 5, 2, 1. And so now we'll plot x and y, which are really very similar to the list that I just did. You can add a second set of data as well. So I can plot x and the second set of y coordinates, only instead of making it green dots, let's make it blue dots. So let's run it now. Cool, and so you'll see the blue ones here and the green ones there. If you want to, you can change the style. So instead of green, let's make this one red, and instead of dots, let's do stars. So a subtle change, but you can see they're stars now. If you wanted to, we could also add a dashed line through them. So there's stars connected with a dashed line. So all of these things are like built-in sort of constants that map to different styles. So if I have a dot here, oh, dot's not a thing. Is it 2 dots? Okay, I don't know. Well, I would have to look these up again, but here's a couple of other examples. So K represents black, so I can have black diamonds with a dashed dotted line. So there's the dash and the dot. I could have a blue series of dots that's represented by the lowercase o with just a pure dashed line like that. Let's round out a couple of last things we might want to add. So we can say plot.title, my first graph. And we can say plot.xLabel. Let's make this time in seconds. And plot.ylabel, number of people. And let's just run that. So now you can see we've got a title and some axes labels. The last thing I'd like to show you is we can add labels to each of the plots themselves. So I'm going to call this one population 1. And I'm going to call this one population 2. And then you can add a legend to the plot by saying plot.legend. And I'm going to set the location to best, which means that we're going to let the plot itself decide where to put it so that it won't obscure other elements. And right center top seems like a good spot for it. So those are all the features that I wanted to show you right now. Matplotlib can do so much stuff. Actually, hold on. So if you go here to matplotlib.org/gallery, you can see a gallery of all of the different kinds of visual features that are possible. So you can do bar graphs, and you can fill things in, and you can, if you're doing a scatter plot, you can change size and color and opacity. You can do all of these other kinds of things. It's a very, very powerful plotting tool. And what's nice is, oh, and I forgot, like most of the tutorials that you'll look at will show you how to do subplots so that you can like have several different graphs that are compared. So if you're curious about how to do any one of these kinds of things, you can click on it and it'll give you the code that generates that particular graph. Just another thing to know is I didn't introduce NumPy to you at all. NumPy is a library for doing things, sort of mathematical things with arrays, and it's very frequently used when you're working with data and graphing data. We may or may not, we probably will talk about it at some point in the future, but I haven't yet. Okay, that's it. Good luck. Enjoy.